Welcome, chat, to the stream. It's the first ever casual cast episode. We got my boy. Oh no, we got my boy Peyton on this side. Santana. Oh, flipped. Santana
Let's
on this
go.
side, and we're about
Let's
to get
go.
into
We
this.
got
But we
casual
got
cast.
one more person in, and it's gonna be
We got
the
a
man,
special guest
the
coming
myth,
on today.
the man, the myth, the legend. It is Hollis Eccles. Welcome, Hollis Eccles, to the
Welcome,
stream.
Hollis. Welcome.
It's
Go.
not laggy,
Let's
is it?
go.
Lagging stream.
A little bit, but it's not that bad.
Yeah, we're chilling.
So
Let's go.
we got a couple of segments that we're gonna start off with, but first, how's everyone's day been?
Low key good. Excited for something to start. Let's do it.
Yeah, we had a long day at work, but we're ready to
Yeah,
cook up in this
I
podcast.
started this earlier if you actually. But anyway,
Hold on. Hollis is here from our guest. You excited to be here or what? Let's
Let's
go.
go, Hoss.
and also, what's up, Mauricio, in the chat? I love you, Mauricio.
The casual.
Let's go, Mauricio, the first fan of the casual cast.
Anyway,
Alright.
without that, let's get over to the first segment, which is the playoff rankings. That is the wrong one. I'm gonna go get that off. Let's look. We gotta react to this.
Oh, you leaked my top 25.
It doesn't matter. They didn't really see it. So we have the Fox College Football Playoff Top 25. I'll just go through this first. So far I think the top 4 are fine. I guess Penn State's a little fraudulent, I might say, but Indiana should not be as high. I know they haven't lost a game. When you have the 104th hardest schedule in the entire league.
I think it's 6. I think it's 106.
106. I have a lot lower in my rankings. They obviously improved. They got a big test this course, but yeah. And aside from that, obviously I think Georgia's low. You're gonna say that a lot, and I think the fact that SMU
Notre Dame's a little high.
The fact that BYU is below SMU after they literally had a head-to-head win over them is bad. Aside from that, anyone got anything to say?
Yeah, Notre Dame should drop. I think their schedule's easy too, and they need to go down at least 3 or 4 places there.
Man, I think this Notre Dame Army game this week is really gonna show how. I think it's gonna. let me hear. I think it's gonna expose some of the teams that are as high as we think they are, like Notre Dame.
And same with Miami. Like the fact that Miami is above Ole Miss after they had the upset to Georgia Tech is.
Yeah,
that's kind of.
So with this, it
shows.
Know, man.
I don't know about that one.
It's gonna show this is what the rankings look like, or this is what the playoff picture would look like. An SEC school, an SEC school would not host any playoff games. Playoffs if it started now. Indiana would host Ole Miss. I think Ole Miss blows them out of the water. Georgia plays Penn State.
I agree.
I think it'll be closer, but I think we win. And then Ohio State destroy you, and then Alabama probably beat.
Man, I still think that even though none of the SEC teams are supposed to host a playoff game, I don't think that it's gonna be close. Regardless, Bama, Notre Dame. I don't think Notre Dame's not that hard of a place to play in. I think the only tough one to me right now looks like if Georgia had to go into Happy Valley, that would be a little tough.
What I was gonna say is Notre Dame, Big Mac, MF, the lag is insane. Mo Maley, your internet's just dog. All right, I'm gonna have with you. But no,
I agree. Little whiteout playoff game.
Okay, I was gonna say with Notre Dame pisses me off the most when it comes to college football, because the committee has proven that you can lose to a MAC school, a MAC school, and then you can remain inside the top 10 as the season goes on. And schedule, bro, it's bad. It's bad.
Like Ohio State lost to Oregon, but yet they're still in the top 5 because they've won out. Even though their schedules.
That was a tough game though.
It was a tough game, but still, and also Miami, bro. I mean, Miami is. I don't know. I think Georgia should be above both of those teams. I'm gonna be honest. Obviously, I'm biased, but it's such.
I think they're not taking the Georgia Tech upset into a big enough. Like
Tech,
they're
what is
still
their
treating them as a one-loss team.
does Georgia Tech's record like 5 or something?
They're a pretty mid team.
Or lost
They're
team?
below.
Man,
But
Boise State might have. I don't know if Boise State can get that 12 seed, that 4 seed though, because it comes down to the Big 12, obviously, but then in the Mountain West, it's shaping up to be Boise State and Colorado State, and Colorado State's not anybody to take lightly. I mean, granted, that whole conference isn't that strong, but I am not too sure that Boise State can establish a good game against them.
yeah, I
Yeah.
think like
I like to
committee-
see Colorado.
bro, the committee has gone away from like ranking the best teams, and they just want it's rewarding of winning an easy conference that also proves something. Like if Boise State's gonna win the Mountain West with ease, like do they really deserve a playoff spot? I mean, I don't know, because they're gonna eventually get blown out of the water no matter what. Like, what's the point?
But that's what I'm-
What's the point? What's the point of putting these teams in the playoffs if they're gonna get blown out anyway?
That's what I'm saying though. That's why I don't think like they should be as high as the 4 seed.
Uh,
Granted, like yes, they might go away as being like the 4th highest conference championship winner, but at the end of the day, it's the most deserving. And I would, if we're talking about like Big 12, I would argue that Colorado is probably more deserving of that 4 spot over Boise State.
It's because like this is what the 4-team playoff did well is they had, for the most part, they had the best 4 teams in the playoffs. I mean, obviously, being in the 2020 playoffs was a mistake, but regardless, like they get it right almost. I'd say 60% of the time. The 12-team playoff, there's going to be teams that are going to like walk into there knowing they're about to get breaks blown. Anyway, enough yapping on the playoffs. I want to go to the first. Let's go. We should go to Payne's rankings first since they already got leaked. So these are Payne's rankings
yeah.
as of now, and you gotta just
Yeah,
I'll
I'll
justify
justify myself. I'll justify myself.
Is not. I don't like him at least.
No. Okay, look. Okay. So we bumped up Alabama and Georgia because I think we can all agree that they're better teams than Penn State and Notre Dame. And I still kept Indiana high because in this week, you can't judge a team based on what you think they're going to do next week. Because everyone's saying, yeah, they're going to lose to Ohio State next week. But this week, right now, they're a 10-0 team. And even if their schedule's been easy, they're still a 10-0 team. And I mean, that's not easy to do. So you got to give them the benefit of the doubt for this week. And if they get blown out of the water the next week, then you bump them down. Then they lose their playoff spot.
I think if they, yeah,
But
if they
I think
lose,
for this week,
if they lose, I think you put them like in probably if they finally get the curve with having an easy schedule.
and then let me see here.
I like how you put. I like
Uh,
you put
Peyton,
Colorado in the.
Peyton, I
14.
gotta ask one. I gotta ask you a question. What has Arizona State done that you put them higher than South Carolina, or even SMU?
Okay. Here's
BYU.
why. Is because in my opinion. Okay, so
Yeah, or
on my
BYU.
I'm gonna do a little leak here, okay? Because I think Arizona State is gonna beat BYU, and
Yeah,
so
but no, but you just contradicted yourself. Then you shouldn't
no,
rank them on
okay,
what you think they're gonna do.
yeah, okay. I agree, but
Look,
all right.
His
See,
little. What is Mauricio commenting, bro?
Okay, maybe you got me there, but I'm still gonna say I think Arizona State is better than BYU and SMU,
oh, dude,
and maybe South Carolina should be a little higher, but I mean, let's be honest, they're
I
not
think
doing
South
anything
Carolina
with
should
this.
be higher than at least Arizona State, dude.
All right.
Hollis, Hollis, you've been talking a lot on Peyton this past week.
Yeah. There's been some dissing
Let's
here.
see
Yeah,
what you got.
you know,
I know. Let's.
What
I don't-
critiques you got?
it's pretty good. I'm a little confused, kind of at the bottom part. Just kind of like, I mean, Miami. I kind of like where Miami is. I like Notre Dame and I like Penn State.
Tennessee's getting disrespected.
My thing is just Indiana.
You think Ole Miss should be higher than Indiana?
I think so.
Also,
Now,
why the hell?
here's the thing
Why
is-
the hell? Why the hell did you put Georgia below Ole Miss or above Ole Miss? That makes zero sense. Coming
Yeah,
from a Georgia fan, that makes
we
zero
beat them
sense. You
by
put not even
18.
not that you put them above them. You put them 2 spots above them.
Because
Because what, bro?
Sure,
Bro, if you
they
just
beat
said
them.
this because of
They
Indiana,
beat them. They beat them head to head. But if they, first of all, Ole Miss has lost to worse teams than Georgia has lost, and you can't take head to head for everything. Because I think if
I'll
they play in a
see.
neutral site in the playoffs, Georgia
so you're gonna
wins.
I
so
was
you're
gonna
gonna put
say
Indiana above them.
if you okay, if you
Yeah, because right now at this point in time, if Ole Miss plays Indiana, Ole Miss wins. But right now,
Yeah.
Indiana's a 10-0 team.
if you
Yeah, but at
watch
this point right
yeah,
now, Ole Miss beat Georgia 2 weeks ago, and it wasn't close.
if you watch the game, bro, you
No,
know
it,
that their D line was destroying our O line the whole game. We have one of the best O lines in the country, and they were destroying us left and right the whole game. Like there was no chance, there was no place to breathe for us, bro, and it was bad. So like, and Carson Beck
I
didn't
know.
really play the best game.
But there's so many factors that go into a ranking that if you just judge everything by head to head, because you have these little head to head triangles where it's like Tennessee beat.
But I feel like that's just in the SEC. That's only for the SEC. Because at this point, the Big Ten is so weak right now, like all around, like as it goes for like the bottom half of it, that is so hard to judge it based off of anything but head to head for the SEC, in my opinion.
I see that.
And
So like now, why I don't agree that that I think Ole Miss should be above Georgia, not just because of head to head matchups, but like if justifying that reason, I don't agree that that Georgia's as high as they are.
Yeah. Well, I mean, let's see. If it's hard, bro, because there's you can't. How can you justify head to head when all these teams are losing to like each other? Like that doesn't make sense. I mean,
the thing with Ole
That's the
Miss,
reason.
But
That's
more
the
than
point.
just
thing with Ole Miss's schedule is that they didn't play any of the team. They didn't play a lot of teams that Georgia played. Like Ole Miss didn't play Bama. They didn't play Texas. They haven't played, or they did play. So Ole Miss is like on the other side of the scheduling for the SEC.
SEC.
Different.
Yeah.
Also, you want to say something?
Yeah, maybe I am wrong. Maybe Georgia should be higher. I mean, Ole
Wait,
Miss should be higher, but
I think you should swap them. If anything, I think you should swap them.
I agree.
yeah, okay, maybe y'all are right. Maybe I should put Ole Miss at 5 and Georgia at 7.
I still
Maybe there was a
think
little
that's
maybe there was a little bit
too
of
high for Ole
bias.
Miss,
Maybe
but
there's a
I
little
think
bit.
you should
Yeah,
swap them.
I think Ole Miss at 5 is high, but I mean,
Payne, move your
they're a
chair.
good performing team right now.
Payne, move your chair to the right a little bit. Richard was
About that.
saying that if you were like that way. Yeah.
Yeah, I was drifting. All
All
right,
right,
thanks,
let's move on to the
Mauricio.
next one. Let's
Yeah.
move on to the next one.
Yeah. On to
Speaking
the
of
next. I didn't realize we were gonna
Yeah,
be
yeah.
We've been talking about Payne's
Glazing me too much. Come on, guys.
Santana. Let's go to Santana's. All right.
All right, okay. Let me
all
hear me
right.
out real quick. Hear me out real quick.
All
I made a
right.
mistake. No, I made a mistake. I meant to put Ole Miss ahead of Georgia. I meant to do that before. I just didn't change it. I forgot to do that. But everything else, I think
Okay, here's something
I think
I
it's pretty
have
good.
is that I think Penn State is too high here.
I think,
I could argue the
dude.
same for
I
Indiana.
mean, obviously, it's very controversial. I think Texas is too high. I think Texas. I mean, where they have them in the real rankings, I think it's still too high. But, like, I'll talk about that later.
Hey, they're at three in
Well,
every ranking.
When they come to my
Literally,
when,
yeah.
when,
Why,
when
why
we
did
go-
you say something in mine?
when we go to my rankings, I'll justify. But go ahead.
Okay. Yes, Santana, do you have anything else to say about your rankings?
The only one that I could like maybe consider changing, like interchanging, would be the Boise State SMU in the middle.
I
But
think,
again,
yeah, I
if I'm being
understand that. That's kind of interchangeable, I feel like.
and honestly, same with the BYU A&M. I feel like that could go both ways.
I think Cohen will agree with me on this. I think Colorado's too low in Santana's.
Yeah, I think.
I don't. Oh,
Dude,
okay. The only reason I say no is because they're still fighting for that conference championship bid. Like they're not there yet. Like some of the other teams, even
Like
though
Boise State
Tennessee,
has,
like Boise
yeah,
State is in the conference championship.
yeah.
BYU is probably in the conference championship if they win this week. Like if
I-
so, like that's why I put them a little bit lower because if in the case that Arizona State loses this week, who does Arizona State plays Colorado, right?
No, Arizona State plays BYU.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, that's what I meant. So in the case that BYU beats Arizona State, they're already in the conference championship. Like there's no question about that.
Okay.
That's why I put them above Colorado.
Yeah. Also, I was gonna say, I think Colorado like they look. I'm gonna be honest. They look like one of the best teams. Well, I'd say probably the best. I think they look pretty good. That's why I have them high.
I think
'Cause
they're a little
you-
underrated.
I'm gambling on them to win the Big 12. That's why I have them so high in the ranking.
BYU has like I know they lost last week, but they've been sneaking by the last couple weeks. Like I've been listening to like a bunch of different shows this last
Yeah,
week,
that's what
and
everyone
they
seems to
all talk
agree.
about how BYU like barely sneaks by. Like in that Utah game 2 weeks ago, I think they should have lost that game.
Just like
Like I don't
Miami.
think.
Yeah, they kind of got
Yeah,
bailed out.
exactly. Like I just think in the end, like head to head between Colorado and BYU, I just think Colorado's like star talent and talent all around will take them ahead of that.
Okay. So would you switch BYU and Colorado?
No, I wouldn't.
Okay. And is that just because BYU you think is performing better in the Big 12 right now?
That's just because I think as of right now, BYU season, their season is in their hands. Like they don't have to worry about another team losing
Okay.
to
Yeah,
make
yeah,
them
yeah.
to
I
get
got
them
you.
into the conference
I see
championship.
that.
They
Okay.
control their own destiny. They win their own championship.
Okay. Hollis, you got any comments?
Not really. I kind of like this. I think it's well balanced and it kind of understands a lot. I like how kind of the teams that have been overhyped like BYU and stuff are finally where they should be. Glad that Indiana is not that high.
Okay.
Okay, Indiana. I I agree with what you say, Peyton, when you talk about don't think about them this week, or don't rank them based off what they
Yeah, I
might
think
do
they
this
should be
week.
dropped next week because if
But
they lose next week,
but but you really got to take into consideration every other team ahead of them. And when you play like they were talking about on a podcast that I was listening to this morning, they were talking about how um, Indiana's wins have come against like the very bottom tier of the Big Ten, and like schools that like aren't even fighting for bowl eligibility right now. And when you take that in consideration, like basically my top seven or my top eight is solely based off of strength of schedule when you really look at it.
yeah. Okay. But I think the teams that are
Wait,
you got to give them a chance to prove themselves because if they're just a bad team, I mean, or like if they're a good team that's just been given a bad schedule and they don't have the choice of that, then they should at least be given the chance to prove themselves in a big game like against Ohio State.
wait.
And I mean, I
I
don't
think
think
the
you
I have
can't.
two
only
things.
the,
I have two things. If you're doing it off of strength of schedule for at least the top 8, then I think Georgia should be above Penn State. And then I think for Peyton, prove himself, you can also schedule out of conference games. Not like it's not you're not completely
they didn't even schedule hard like
yeah
in the first 3 weeks when teams normally do that. They didn't even do
yeah
that.
yeah.
Yeah,
They played Michigan. Michigan is probably right as to this point. Michigan is their toughest competition, and
yeah.
they
But
can't. Their offense is struggling
I
hard
don't
this
think
year.
anyone accepted Mich or I don't think anyone thought Michigan would be as bad as they were this
I mean,
year.
you could argue the same thing for the Texas game. Like everybody talks about how
Yeah, that's the
Texas'
thing is
biggest game was against Michigan. So
yeah, and I think that game was overhyped. I mean, after we saw what Texas did to Michigan, I
All
mean,
right.
yeah,
didn't really live
yeah.
up to the hype.
So I don't know.
We've been on Santan's ranking for a while. Let's
Yeah.
move over to Hollis's real quick.
All right,
Hollis's
see what Hollis got.
has Texas is Bama above Texas. Ole Miss is spots above
That's interesting.
Penn State above Georgia.
All right,
9.
I'll go through it. So here's the thing. Oregon, Ohio State, those make sense. Those same pretty much to everybody's. The
Yeah,
reason that Alabama is above Texas is when you look at just the strength of schedule and who they've played. Alabama has played 5 bowl eligible teams. Texas has only played 1. Texas has not beat a top 25 team yet this season. Alabama's played a lot of good teams. Georgia, Vanderbilt's a pretty good team. LSU, good team. They're doing bad now, but they're pretty good. They're better in the SEC. So I believe that if they play it again, I think Alabama will win. I just think overall, I think just the overall scheme of the offense. I really don't think Quinn Ewers is great. I don't think he brings Texas to their best capability. I think they have a lot of talent. And then Ole Miss at 5. Here's the reason why is because a lot of people just look at the losses and they look and they see that, oh, they lost to Kentucky and LSU. Well, yeah, they lost to Kentucky and LSU, but Kentucky was on their own 20-yard line with 1:30 left on a 4th and 17. And they converted it and ended up scoring and winning. LSU, 4th and 7 on their own 30 with 2 minutes left in the game, converted it. Overtime, touchdown wins the game. So they're one-score games that happen, or else
So
those 2 scores and we're undefeated.
so you're saying that like it really comes down to your losses have come down to 2 plays total.
Yes.
Yeah, but I think that also is a judging of a team's ranking. I mean, if your team can't clutch up at the end of the game, then
But like
I mean,
no,
what
but
good
like
are they?
I don't agree with that necessarily because like that happens. Like you play the entire game and you get them in that situation. Yes, I do agree that you need to stop them or at least do something. But like you're gonna give those up. Does happen.
Yeah.
And then I'll go down a little further. I mean, I'm gonna put Penn State at 6 just because, like, kind of like what Peyton talks about. I mean, they have a good record. I mean, yeah, they haven't played a lot of great teams, but they still have, in my opinion, a lot tougher of games than Indiana. So of course I'm gonna put Georgia and Tennessee above Indiana because I'm really thinking too about if they played head to head, who would really win. And I believe both those teams could easily beat Indiana just for the fact that, shout out my boy Marcus here. If you play in the SEC, it's a lot harder than playing in the Big Ten. And
Yeah.
Indiana really hasn't played anybody that I can look at their schedule right now and be like, they deserve to be a top 5 team. Yeah, they're
That goes
undefeated,
the same. Like
but it's
you
kind of like
play an
Army.
away game in the SEC anywhere in the country. Shoot, even this season Vanderbilt's proven that. Any stadium you play an away game in the SEC is definitely gonna be a lot harder than if you go to Northwestern, who plays on a lake
Okay.
right now.
Well,
Like
Exactly.
Vanderbilt. I don't even think Vanderbilt was in terms of the stadium because I mean there was almost, if not more, Alabama fans than Vanderbilt
that
fans.
was no, but that was more of a general statement. That goes for anywhere. That could be Mississippi State, Kentucky. That was a general
I
statement.
remember. I
Like
remember
got
when.
you.
I remember when you were like, "Y'all are dissing on us because we barely beat Kentucky back in week 3," and you were like, "Oh, but we had to go into Kentucky. It's still a hard game, like
Yeah, it
regardless."
is. Okay.
it's anywhere
Yeah,
you play is
any
the same.
SEC school. Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
And that's why I just don't believe Indiana gets. I mean, I get that Indiana's undefeated should be praised more than, for example, an Army team or something. I get that. But I just don't believe they deserve to be as high as they do. I don't know. And then I'm going to put Notre Dame at 10 because since that loss, I mean, they have done good. They haven't really.
Chat. The stream should be fixed. Like the lag should be fixed now for the most part.
They haven't played anybody, but I mean, I know y'all are going to think, well, Miami's loss was to Georgia Tech and Notre Dame's was to Northern Illinois. Why are they above? It's just, if you really look at all the games Miami's played, they've come down to the fourth quarter. They're pretty much just fourth quarter games.
Like that,
Like,
like when they played Duke a couple weeks ago,
yes,
it was a tie game going in the fourth quarter. I think at 35, and then
yes,
Cam Ward showed up in the last 7-8 minutes of the game, and ended up becoming a blowout almost by 30 points.
exactly. And that's the thing. Like, nobody, like, a lot of people just look at the score and they don't really watch the game and realize that it's just like it's a lot more, it's about the full game. The fact that they're coming down to the fourth quarter in the last 8 minutes of the game, that's not good when you come down to the playoffs when you're playing a
Yeah,
better team. That's not going to slide, and then it's not going to happen.
yeah.
And the farther down they go, the least important they really are. I mean, honestly, like I've kind of regret now. I think I should have put Colorado a little higher. Um, I think I think honestly next year Clemson I think Clemson will be a pretty good team. I think Cade Klubnik and that off. I mean, honestly, but we can get into this talk. I can yap about it. How Dabo Sweeney's not
I
really a great coach due to the way that he coaches with um, just recruiting out of high school more than transfers. I think it's causing their team to not really have as much talent as they used to. But I think they'll be good next year, but I just don't think they deserve to be any higher. And Army, that's gonna be a game to watch.
Okay,
Be a game to
here's
watch.
one thing I gotta say. Earlier
Give me
in the
Daly,
beginning,
Coach Daly.
earlier in the beginning of your statement on your top 25, you were saying how Quinn Ewers hasn't really been performing for Texas, and he's the reason that you're kind of putting them lower than Alabama because you don't think they're a well-performing team because of him. But I'd argue that Alabama has had the same problem with Jalen Milroe, and that he has sold the game on multiple occasions just as much as Quinn Ewers has. So how can you?
What game?
Casual
Alright, bro.
take.
What which one are you
Alright.
talking
Okay.
about? Because when you think about it, Jalen Murrow on the road 2 weeks ago against LSU. Yes, he only threw for 109 yards, but when you rush for 230 and score 4 touchdowns, I don't care how many yards you throw for. That's basically criticizing Army's entire offense. They run that slot T offense where it's a triple option the entire time.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's comparable.
I think the fact that it's just think about this. How did the way that Quinn Ewers performed against Georgia versus the way that Jalen Milroe performed against Georgia? I know you can't look at it because it's different times of the season, but like Jalen Milroe is just overall a better quarterback. Quinn Ewers is pretty much one dimensional. You see the guy, he runs out of the pocket. He's mainly just going to slide. He's not really going to run anywhere like Milroe does. He doesn't find gaps, find spaces, and make as many yards as he can. Quinn Ewers just isn't that great. He's not leading the Texas team that they are. It's just he's not good. Peyton.
No, I'm gonna disagree with you. I think Quinn Ewers can get us a good playoff run this year, and I think he can really do something for the team. I'm not saying he's a better quarterback than Jalen Milroe. I think Jalen Milroe. I think we can all agree if you just look at his stats and the clips of what he's doing to these teams, he's rushing like it's just an open field against these defenses, like it's nothing. And just making it easy on his whole team. And
So why did they have to put Arch Manning in if Quinn Ewers was so good?
well,
Yeah,
I
because they
I think
played
they're
them
both good
dogs.
quarterbacks. I think they're both good
Well,
quarterbacks, and I think they were experimenting. Arch Manning is
Quinn
probably
Ewers is that good. They're not putting. If Quinn Ewers is that good,
Here, hold on. I gotta step away real quick. My phone's about to die. I'm gonna grab a charger real quick.
if if Quinn Ewers is not on the Texas offense, Arch Manning starts 100%, and he does just about as good a job, in my opinion, as Quinn
No,
Ewers.
my phone's about to die.
And so I think giving Arch the reps in a game like that is not a bad decision. I mean, and Quinn Ewers was not playing good that day, and neither, we've had all quarterbacks see that they don't play good games, and they were just, I don't think that's a good comparison because Arch Manning, you're trying to act like Arch Manning is just some little backup quarterback that's just a nobody, but he's probably the best backup quarterback in college football, for being honest.
really?
I think so,
Is
yeah.
he?
Yeah, of all the
Can you even name?
QB2s,
Can you name me another backup quarterback?
the Georgia backup
No, I
quarterback,
knew you were gonna
he's
say
pretty
that, bro.
solid.
I knew you were gonna say that, bro.
What's his name?
Yeah, what's his name?
What's his name?
Don't Google it. Don't Google
Bro,
it.
And there. What? Wait, hold on, Peyton. Wait. I got a question for you, Peyton.
what?
What's your role on this podcast again?
I don't have a role, bro. Get
Wait,
out of
what's
here.
your role? What's your role?
My role is I'm a main cast member, bro.
Casual. That's what I thought.
No,
Just
bro,
making
that is
sure. I
not.
just had to.
No, we're
I
not
just.
doing this, bro.
I just had.
You're
I
just the
just had
guest.
to check with
You
myself.
are just the guest speaker, bro. Don't come in here thinking like you
I'm the
know.
guest speaker because I know more than the casual. There's a reason this podcast is made because you're
All
a
right,
casual.
we're getting
No,
carried
this
away. We're
pod,
getting carried away. We're getting carried away. All right, let me
hey, look at this guy, bro. We're
Hey,
still on
yeah,
Hollis's.
wait,
let me-
go to the next one.
let me go to my-
We got more to talk about that. We got more to talk about.
Let me go
on
to
that.
my next rankings. All right, here we go. This one could get a little controversial.
dude.
Here we go.
Is this yours, Cone?
These are this is mine.
All right, let's see this, bro.
Oh man.
So to
Yeah.
start, I respected head
I
to
like
head.
this one. I like this
Wow.
one.
I respect-
I
Wow.
like this one.
Wow.
This is
I love
this
this
is called
one.
this is
Okay.
called respecting head to head. First of all, Alabama beat Georgia. I think Alabama is a little bit better than Ole Miss. I think they obviously they haven't played. Ole Miss beat Georgia.
Hollis,
Yeah.
you can't disagree on that. Like as much as I know you want to,
you can't you can't just
Yeah.
use the
Wait, what?
rankings. Listen, you can't use the rankings as a win-loss column like how the NFL does it. You can't just say, "Oh, this team
Wait,
has."
what'd you say, Peyton? Or Santana?
I said I don't think you can argue that Alabama would beat Georgia, Ole Miss.
I can't argue Alabama would.
Well, like I know you want to like say something about like them being a 3. I don't think they should be that high in my person,
Okay.
Alabama. But
Let me
if
tell
you're
you
going
something,
off Cohen's
Cullen.
thing,
Cullen,
Here's the
before you
thing.
let me justify this real quick.
All right.
So
Alright.
there's not that much confusion at the top when you look at it head to head. You can't just say this team has one loss and put them at the top 3 because they have an easy schedule. So obviously, Bama above Georgia, Ole Miss above Georgia, Georgia above Texas because Georgia has the best win in damn near going into Austin and beating Texas. Indiana hasn't played anybody. You can't. They're like James Madison, but they're in a Power 4 conference. Got to put them somewhat up there. Indiana's 7. Penn State hasn't played anyone. I'm just doing that because they and Indiana both haven't played any. I might consider putting Penn State above Indiana. Miami. Honestly, I would have swapped Tennessee. That's. But Notre Dame as well. They have what I was saying earlier. You've proven that you can do a group of 5 team and remain in the top 10. See, in the top almost 5. That's why I have them a lot lower. Boise State's a group of 5 team. They're good, but I think they lose. I think they lose to almost any team above them. That game.
I got a question. Do you really believe Tennessee should be ranked lower than Miami?
No, that was a mistake. I was not looking at it like that, but I think you're saying Tennessee. Matter of fact, I think
Okay.
Tennessee should
Okay.
be 8. I wasn't really thinking.
Yeah, I think they should be above Penn State too.
If you're respecting head to head, then why is Ole Miss better than Texas if they haven't even played?
Because Ole Miss has better
because
wins.
of that chain stuff,
Ole Miss
and
has
because
better
it's
wins.
because of that reaction stuff.
Yeah, because look, Ole Miss is beating Georgia, and Georgia beat Texas.
Hey, Texas hasn't beat a top 25 team all year.
No,
They have no significant win.
Our biggest win is I'm not even gonna say Vandy anymore. Our biggest win is against Arkansas.
I'm gonna cut to my screen.
Because we barely got away from that Vandy game.
But you guys can keep talking.
Yeah, I just don't think you can justify that. Like, I'm not gonna say I agree with Cohen's because I think Texas should be a little bit higher, just
I mean-
because of all the other just because all the other experts that have put them in the rankings higher. But I'm not saying that they should be. I understand why he put them as low as he did.
I think, like, let's take this, like, okay, you can't do this, like, chain reaction. Like, we talk about this every day at lunch with Marcus. Like, Marcus tries
It's not
to piece
together.
together.
Peyton. You just
He
look
just-
at who wins.
What he's
He
looking
just
at Peyton
said
is like more. It's almost more of like a deserving, like who deserves or who will win and who deserves to win that game.
And
Alright.
rest. I think South Carolina could beat BYU. Colorado, I still am gambling on them. I think South Carolina.
I think
Does
SM.
anyone know where the South Carolina?
I thought that game wasn't. Isn't it always neutral? Don't they always play that in Charlotte?
I think South Carolina could actually.
I think SMU should be higher than South Carolina.
I was gonna say I do think SMU should be higher on your list than South Carolina, but it's not anything too big that I wasn't really gonna point it out. But I do agree with what Peyton said.
Not much going on besides the top, which is a lot shit. Beside that.
Yeah,
About
yeah.
it.
I feel like all of our rankings have been the same in terms of like 15 and lower. Like
Yeah.
I mean, because there's really no justifying anything lower than top 10 right now. But
Also, I put
just
A&M.
wanted to
I
point that
put
out.
A&M a lot lower than the rank.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I just don't like A&M.
their quality of losses have not been good, and how they've lost has not been good. Getting like blown out by South Carolina, that was embarrassing.
At all.
Should we move on to the next segment? I think we're
Yeah.
wrapped
Yeah,
it
that's
up.
a
Let's
long
go-
time we've spent on top.
Let's go ahead and go over to. This one should not take that long, but let's go over to Peyton's hot take.
All right.
Wait, there we go. It's like fire, and it's like. All right, go ahead, Peyton.
This freaking screen. All right. My hot take this week is that I think Indiana's going to come away with a win against Ohio State.
Okay, that can't be it because I picked Indiana to win that game anyway. That's not
That's
a hot
not really
take.
a hot take.
Well, I think every single analysis in the entire world has Ohio State winning that game.
That is not true.
I mean,
See, this is
just
why you're on here.
it's in the shoe. I mean, it's going to be a hard game for Indiana, but I think they could pull through. And I mean,
Explain to me why, Peyton.
be, do I have to give an explanation, bro? My opinion
Yes.
is just I think
Yes.
Indiana's going to win.
Why? They just decide to win?
Well,
Yeah,
actually, hold on.
they just pull through.
What do they have as an advantage over Ohio State to have them win the game?
Here's what I'll talk about that. The only sort of thing that I can make up, well, not merely make up, but like come up with, is that Indiana, if they can, the only way they can win is if they make Will Howard beat them. If they make Ohio State throw the ball, like I think Kurt Signetti can like go to sleep at night like feeling fine if he knows that he lost to Ohio State by the like with Will Howard's arm. Because I think that obviously Ohio State has a better run game, but I think that if Penn State or not Penn State, sorry, Indiana can contain the run game, I think they'll be fine.
Yeah, okay. Well, here's the thing. Yeah, I want to say. So, I looked this up just to clarify. So I'm not speaking fake news, but Indiana leads the Big Ten in rushing yards allowed on defense. They have the least rushing yards allowed on defense in the entire Big Ten. And you can say that they've played easy games and the Big Ten's easy, but you can justify that for Ohio State and for Oregon and for Penn State as well. They've all had easy schedules, but Indiana still had the least rushing yards of any team in the Big Ten.
That's why I
And if
said the
they can
only
contain Quinshon Judkins and
and
make
even
them
that
throw the
other dude,
ball,
Henderson, whatever his first name is.
yeah. If they can stop the run game and force them to throw the ball, they can come up with some big turnovers that can change the game, you know?
Yeah.
I don't have anything else.
Yeah,
Not about his
Hollis.
hot take. Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
Hollis.
Hollis. Flame him. You've been waiting
Yeah,
all week for
yeah,
this.
what you got, Hollis, you
Before I
know?
say anything, chat. Like
Just came at me.
audio. Hold on. The audio is not lagging, but like the video is, so it's not that big of a deal. Sorry for.
Here's the thing, all right? The reason why this podcast and the reason why it's called Peyton's Hot Takes because he's the casual is because his hot take involves just no sense of reasoning.
I just gave you my reasoning though, did I not?
Santana did.
Santana stepped in, okay, on my segment, to be fair. I did not ask Santana to come defend.
It's your casual segment, and you couldn't come up with a reasoning.
I did not ask you
You
to
said
come
I
defend me.
think Indiana's going to beat Ohio State, and then you just said just because.
No.
Yeah,
okay.
and then if you had given me time to talk.
No,
I did.
because you piggybacked off of what I had said by looking something up. I said that the only way that Indiana can be close in this game is if they can contain the run game a little bit. And then you proceeded to go look up, oh, can Indiana really do that?
Here's
And
the thing.
you figured that out.
Ohio State is ranked number 1. They have the best overall defense, not sacks or anything. Like I talked about how Ole Miss, they're number 1 ranked. You can look it up. Here's the thing. Yes, they haven't really played great teams. That's fine. But here's the thing. Indiana they just don't have just the sheer talent that Ohio State does. And I think in this game, I think coaching and talent outweighs the teams. And I think that's why Ohio State wins this game. Will Howard is pretty good. He's a good quarterback.
He's picking it up now. He's been picking it up recently.
I just don't think Indiana just doesn't have, they don't, I just don't feel like they have the skill or the disciplined defense that Ohio State has the past 5 years to be able to lose to Indiana.
Okay, but you can't really use your personal opinion on their talent, because I could go say, oh well, I think Georgia has way better talent than Ole Miss, but then why did Ole Miss win? You know?
I think I disagree with that.
But do
I
they?
think no.
But
I
do they?
think Ole Miss. No, I think Ole
I-
Miss. Ole Miss is the reason they're so good is because they recruit out of the portal so well. And that they win that game like 6 out of 10 times, 7 out of 10 times. I feel like if it's at
I don't know.
Hey,
I think
hey,
the only
9 out of our 11 starters were from the portal.
yeah.
I think the only position that Ole Miss leads in is D-line and quarterback, and I think everything else,
They have
and their
both-
D-lines are,
Do you not know who Trey Harris is?
yeah.
yeah, they have good
Do you not know
wide
who
receivers.
Juice Wells is?
They have good wide receivers, but so does Georgia.
Eh,
And like,
eh.
and Georgia's run game is so much better.
No.
Georgia's
If I
run
had-
game
if
is
I
so
had-
much better than Ole Miss.
Currently, no.
If I had to pick a receiving core to choose between, and my only options were Ole Miss and Georgia, I'm taking Ole Miss like quick. Because Dominic Lovett hasn't proven anything to me this season, and neither is anybody else on their team on their receiving core.
Oscar Delt, bro, he's on the come up. Last game,
Bro, leading the nation in drops is not gonna give it to you, bro.
he didn't even, bro. Okay. Okay.
This.
Anyway, I don't know why I must.
Hey, put it on the all four.
Oh, you're right. All right, so the next one,
Let's go over Heisman watch. Let's go over Heisman watch.
Yeah,
I was
let's
about
do
to- I was
Heisman
about
watch.
to
That'll
say
be
that.
interesting.
Bro, it's like 2 people though.
I mean, it is 2, but I think we can make a good argument for who it's gonna be.
Yeah, I think some people might take some money over the other.
Why do you look like
See-
that, bro?
see-
Why do you look down the street? What the hell? Try to see it. Look at Santana's.
Let's see.
I think whatever. It'll be.
All right, let's start with Heisman watch. Brent,
Go
pull
up,
up
okay.
the-
So we all know who we think it's gonna be. Like,
Do
there's
you
2
have
people
a-
who we think it's gonna be, but who like go? Let's go one by one. And say who you think it's gonna be.
Well, Cohen, do you have a screen for Heisman watch or no?
I don't.
Okay. Well, I'll start. I got Ashton Genty to go all the way. I think Travis Hunter is still the best, receiver in the league, but he's just. I just got Ashton Genty. I got him favored.
That should have been your hot take.
If you want me to elaborate, I will, but I want to let
Come
everyone
on,
go
Travis
first.
Hunter being the best receiver in college football.
Yeah, because I think he is. I'll justify it in
Oh
a minute.
my
But everyone else
gosh.
go. Everyone else go, bro. Everyone else go.
All right. I'll go. So, bro, I'm torn like bad because Ashton Genty is doing something that no one else has done, but Travis Hunter is also doing something that no one else like however long. So, I think I'll give it to Travis Hunter. Honestly, I like Travis Hunter because Genty, like, yeah, you're a good running back, but you're also playing in a really, but then again, no one else is doing that, and I don't know. That's why I'm torn between it. But both doing insane stuff, and I think Travis Hunter is still doing a little bit more, double the snaps to Genty, like theoretically.
Okay.
Yeah, I
What-
think
what do
I think if I could split the trophy down the middle and give it to both of them, I would. But I'm gonna give it to Travis Hunter because, and my reasoning is because, yes, Genty is, again, like Cohen said, piggybacking off of that, he's doing something that we haven't seen in decades or even ever. But same with Travis Hunter, and Travis Hunter is top of his position in both receiver and in corner or DB. And that to me is insane. Like, leading the entire nation, all like 130 something Division 1 teams, and you're gonna be like, top 5 in both of them, that's insane to me.
All right, here's
So I
my.
give it to Travis Hunter.
I think if Ashton Genty consistently run like has the same amount of yards, 150 to 200 a game for the rest of the season, I think it's gonna be very close. But I'd still give it to Travis Hunter, just for the fact, like, yes, yeah, like they both said, it's something that hasn't been happened in a long time. The closest was probably Derrick Henry, like the most recent. But the thing was, it's him, Alabama, SEC, Boise State, Mountain West. Like, it's just a little different.
Like I said, if I could give it to both of them, I would, because it's still what they're both doing is insane. But
Okay, let me justify my pick of Ashton Genty since I'm the only one singled out here.
I don't think you have to justify it that much because we've all like as a
Yeah.
group said that
Yeah, I'll just give a
it
short
would be
little statement.
close.
Is I think that even though they've both done something, I think also the Big 12 is also an easy conference, just like the Mountain West.
Easier than the Mountain West though.
No, not easier, no, but still, it's still up there. I mean, and Colorado's schedule, I don't know the exact ratings of strength of schedule, Boise State versus, and also I want to add that Ashton Genty versus like a team like Oregon. I don't remember his exact stats, but I'm pretty sure he still had like something like 3 touchdowns.
But I would
And
argue, yes, he did.
and then also we have to factor in that Ashton Genty is putting up these numbers, and in some of these games he's sitting out the entire half. And I think in 2 separate games now he's sat out the entire second half. So he's putting up these numbers, and he's also technically missed a whole game with the way that they're sitting him out in these second halves of these games that are blowouts. And I mean, I think if you let him perform for the rest of the season and see what he does in playoffs, I think he has a really good chance.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I think you can justify it evenly for both people because
Like
I
if they
mean
get
they're both doing things that are
if they
crazy.
get if they get the number 4 spot somehow and they get that bye and then they go up against a really good team in that second round of the playoffs and Ashton Dutty still rushes for like 250 yards, I think he's the clear winner right there.
Oh yeah, I mean I see that too. But as of right now, I think I'd still give it to Travis Hunter.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Well, I was also gonna. We didn't. But like, we gotta like talk about who's the best quarter. Obviously, there's not a quarterback is not gonna win. Like, I don't know.
Mm-mm.
Not a lot of good
This might be the first.
quarterbacks.
Wow, this is what Devontae Smith.
What'd you say?
I
What'd you say?
was saying hasn't
You know what I'm gonna say, boys?
Jackson Dart.
All right.
Okay.
Let me put up some stats for you. All right. Here's the thing. Jackson
Okay,
Dart's number.
stats. No, don't talk about the stats, bro, because I'm gonna
Why?
go.
Can't
Why?
Because okay,
you can't do stats when they
I'm
play
gonna
like
I'm gonna give an example here. I'm gonna give an example here and go over the NFL and talk about my good old pal Dak Prescott, who, according to the stats last year, had an amazing season and was like a top 3 quarterback, leading in all these stats throughout the whole year. But then you get to the playoffs and he just sucks ass. I mean, he's just horrible. And like how can you justify just the stats? Oh my gosh, the stats. The stats can't show everything. I mean, as far as a Heisman candidate, in my
a
opinion.
winning quarter.
Yeah, you got to analyze every aspect for Heisman, not just the stats.
Okay. So everybody say who they think if a quarterback was to win, not win the Heisman necessarily, but who's the best quarterback in the nation? This is probably gonna be biased, but like who? Yeah, that's who I would say.
All right, I'm gonna go Dylan Gabriel.
It's not a
Not gonna lie.
that's a good take. I can agree with that.
The only reason with Jalen Murrow is because I mean, obviously Jalen Murrow has had a terrible game. I wouldn't say terrible, but been games where
Underperforming.
I always notice like I don't know why this is like a habit, but like whenever you know that the family's gonna lose a game, they have a bunch of like screw ups in the very beginning of the game. Like that Tennessee game, fumbled the snap, first play of the game, whatever. Like and then that Vanderbilt game, he like bounced off of his helmet and they got the pick six and that kind of stuff. Like no. Like no that
Yeah. I say Jalen Monroe is best quarterback in the country because I mean he can beat you both ways. Like granted,
Yeah,
I
the
feel
dual
like
threat ability.
his dual threat ability is what's to me is what puts him ahead because like guys like Quinn Ewers pocket
Yeah,
play
he's a one.
terrible. He
Yeah,
can't run. I think Hollis brought that up earlier. Like when Quinn Ewers runs,
he
he
just
gets what,
slides.
3
Yeah,
yards and slides. Jalen Monroe will probably he'll make something happen.
yeah.
He's strong, like he's just built. He's fast, like and he can beat you. His deep ball is good. He can beat you both ways. That's why I don't know if anybody else competes that in the country besides Dylan Gabriel. Honestly,
Round right there.
I hope not, dude. I hope not.
Happened. Also, you already said Jackson Dart. I think you.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say interchangeably Dylan Gabriel and Jalen Monroe are the best two. Sorry, Hollis. I just don't see Jackson Dart. I want to bring up like let's give an example here. In the I want to say it was the I what Hollis, what was the game where y'all missed the game winning field goal? That was the first loss of the
Kentucky.
season, right?
That was to Kentucky.
Yeah, okay. So in that game, Jackson Dart, I vividly remember watching this. Jackson Dart scrambles out of the pocket in a high stakes game where all they really needed to do was get a couple yards to get in a good field goal position. And he scrambles out of the pocket out to the sideline and gets tackled for a loss of like 6 yards and
Right.
put him on the edge of the hash. And that's probably what determined
Yep.
that missed field goal right there.
And you can look me in the eyes right now and tell me that Dylan Gabriel and Jalen Milroe, every single game they've played has been perfect and they haven't made a single mistake.
That's not what he said. Peyton said earlier that, or no, maybe Cohen said earlier they have no quarterback has played like perfect season all year.
I
But-
know, but he's trying to argue to me that that's the reason why Jackson Dart's not that good is because of that
No,
one
I'm just
moment.
saying.
No, he's just bringing up like a memory, like Cohen did with the Alabama Tennessee, or fumbled the first snap of the game. Like that's just
Yeah,
another reason.
I get that he has those things. He does have times, but in my opinion, I think he's probably top 3, one of the best. The reason why is just like, I mean, he's all. I would put him close to as good of a run. Jalen Milroe by far beats him out of the park in the run game, but I think he's a pretty close runner up to. I think he's a runner up to him. Just in the fact, I mean, it shows against the Georgia game. He comes out of the game, he rolls his ankle. All right, that's fine. The whole rest of the game, I'm expecting him to sit there and slide the whole time. But what does he do? No, he sits there and he lowers his shoulder against these safeties and these backs, and he just like he's a tough quarterback. Not like Quinn Ewers who sits there and slides. He's
Yeah,
just a
but
tough quarterback.
just because you're willing to take a hit when you're scrambling, does that make you the best quarterback in college football?
I didn't say that.
I mean,
I'm talking about the moment. He's also number 3 in the country in pass yards.
I will also say with Quinn Ewers, bro, like his pocket presence, whenever he's pressure and like it's happened like a bunch of times. He always gets tripped up, like goes on his hands, he just like immediately falls to the ground. He has no sense of like getting up and trying to run.
It's because
I'm not.
You know what I'm
it's
talking
because
about
he
too.
steps up. Yes, it's because he steps up into his lineman and he steps up like half a yard.
You know
He
that
doesn't like when he
yeah.
sees pressure. He doesn't try to evade. He just like gets ready to take the hit. Like try to evade that at least for a second, or
Yeah,
step
I
up
think,
even more and take off.
and I think I'm not arguing that Jackson Dart's a better quarterback than Quinn Ewers. I'm just arguing that Jackson Dart's not a top 3 quarterback. I don't know why we're
Whee!
instantly
Oh,
using
I
this.
forgot. We haven't
I
even
don't know why
we haven't brung Shadur into the conversation at all.
Why are we
I think
instantly bringing?
Shador's number 2 or number
Why
number 2.
Why are we
Or 3.
instantly bringing this escape plan to go shit on Quinn Ewers? Like, oh, let's talk about Jackson Dart, but oh wait, no, let's escape over here and talk about Quinn
That was
Ewers
me. I
because
didn't divert.
he's no, I know, but Hollis has a tendency to just go over and say, oh well, Quinn Ewers did this, but I'm not arguing Quinn Ewers. I know Quinn Ewers has had a poor season. I watch him overthrow these easy balls to these wide open receivers, and time again. I mean, it's just
And
kind of
throw
sad to watch.
his check downs
And yeah,
85% of the time.
the little checkdowns. I mean, it's just like it's almost like watching Dak Prescott. I mean, it's just kind of sad. But I'm not
All right.
arguing that. I'm arguing Jackson Dart. And
Okay, I'm
I just want to leave
gonna
it at
take this
that.
away for a little bit, and I'm gonna go into we've been talking about Shador and even Dak. Okay, it's been coming up, and I've seen it come up in like the news the last couple weeks. Do you think the Cowboys are gonna draft Shador? You might not be a Cowboys fan, Cone. You might not be a Cowboys fan either. But like, we better not, dude.
I really
think-
hope
I
not.
think- I think the Raiders.
Sure, they're saying we're gonna get Coach Prime, but like,
They're saying no. They're saying if Shador gets drafted to the Cowboys, Dion will come to the Cowboys.
yeah.
I don't think Dion wants to leave college football.
That's not
No, but
happening. That's not
here's
happening.
the thing,
They just landed the number 2 recruit in the nation. Not leaving. Not leaving.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think he's gonna leave. Like he did all that work to.
Like Stephen A. is
Did
so.
He uses the
Caleb
transfer portal.
Cunningham switch?
Stephen A. believes so
Or is he
hard
still
that
committed to Ole
he's
Miss?
gonna come.
no. If he has the chance to go coach his son again, like continue coaching his son in the NFL, I wouldn't see why he wouldn't pass that chance up. And I mean, but I just don't see the Cowboys drafting Shador. I mean, that'd just be a stupid draft
I don't
decision.
either. No, I
That'd
don't
be like
either.
the Falcons
either.
drafting Michael
Michael
Penix,
Penix.
which was that was just dumb. I mean,
Because we just paid Dak.
we just paid Dak,
like,
even though
maybe
Dak's not
last
the
offseason.
even though Dak's not the best quarterback,
We just
paid him, and I think we should focus our draft stock on
What we
something
need.
like our running game, which is 32nd in the league.
God awful.
Like we literally have the
we
worst.
average like 65 rush yards a game.
We literally have the worst running offense in the whole league, and just to take that and draft a quarterback first round, like that's just a waste of a first round pick.
Yeah.
I think the perfect.
No, yeah,
spot
I just want to get that out. I
think the perfect spot for them would be
But
the Raiders.
enough talking about the NFL. I mean, yeah.
But yeah, we move on to the long-awaited, like predictions.
Yeah. Let's go to our
Well,
pick.
no, hold on.
We're
Let's go
about
through
an
the game previews first. Let's
we're-
preview the games. Let's preview the games real quick. Like just real quick. Go through them real quick.
That's what.
Okay. We can do
Yeah,
that.
let's show the
I'll go-
matchups.
I'll go.
Like
To,
it won't reveal our picks until.
I only have the this Ole Miss versus Florida. Got. Now don't go and pick, but like just talk about the.
Man, I think this is gonna be a tough game. I really do. In the swamp, and if you're talking environment wise, in the swamp, tough game. Always a tough place to play. DJ Lagway is coming back now. He's probably not gonna be 100% off of his hamstring injury, but I think he'll still keep it relatively close. Now, I am hesitant to see how Florida's gonna respond to Ole Miss's offense, but we'll see. It'll be a good game for sure.
I think we can't stray from the fact that we're talking about environment, and yeah, the swamp's hard to play in, but Ole Miss did just get off of beating Georgia in Athens. And
Nope.
They were in Oxford.
At Ole Miss.
oh, actually, oh shit,
That's.
casual, my bad. Thought they were in Athens, but still,
No,
Difficult.
yeah, man, that win's a win. That win is a big win, nonetheless.
yeah, Georgia in general. I mean, if we're comparing Georgia to Florida, that's a way harder team. And I think if they could just hold their
Florida kept it close with Georgia.
yeah,
until
they
DJ
started
Lagway got hurt.
they started off weak in the beginning of the season, I think, and then they're starting to come back.
So it's really gonna be interesting to see a 85% health DJ Lagway this week. I'm kind of excited for it.
Yeah,
Alright,
yeah.
I'm gonna make my pick, and then we. Not much to say. I got Florida winning big time. It's not anything against Ole Miss. It's just like, so it's almost like you can get through a tunnel that has light at the end of it. Like they're coming off a bye week.
Wow.
They're going into the swamp. Like, bro, there's been multiple occasions where like their teams have had a bye week.
The trap game.
It's a trap game.
The trap game.
Bama came off a win against
The
Georgia.
Alabama game.
Bama came off a win against Georgia. What happened the next week?
Yeah.
Come on, man. Come on. That's a soft subject. Come on, man.
It feels so obvious that it can happen. Don't make me change your opinion, Peyton, because I already have everything set up on the Twitter. If you
No, I see the trap game idea, but I still stand with my opinion.
Yeah. All right. I mean, I picked Ole Miss. I think it's clear. I think Ole Miss is gonna win by. I give them 10.
I'm gonna do a little bit of a Kirk Herbstreit thing here, real quick. Like, quick little thing. Here's the thing. All right, Ole Miss, a lot of momentum coming into this game due to the fact that they beat Georgia. Had a bye week, not great. Florida had a good win against over LSU, which gives them a lot of confidence. I think DJ Lagway is going to be a lot better this week than he was last week, giving them a chance. Big thing to look at though for Ole Miss, big positive is Trey Harris is coming back for the Florida
Oh, he's
game.
healthy. He's healthy this week.
Yes, he's coming
Oh,
back.
yeah.
That's a big factor. I think just for the fact Trey Harris is coming back, I think Ole Miss will win by a good, comfortable, probably 14.
Out of the 4. Next time we go, we're gonna go. But go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. So I think that I'm a big Ole Miss hater. I will admit I got a bias against them just because I don't know, just something about them. Just not a big fan, but
I wonder
I
who.
think we can't stray from the fact that they're a solid team and they got really good offense that I just don't think the Georgia or the Florida defense will be able to keep up with. I mean, we look at the Georgia defense struggling to keep up with Ole Miss, and like they're one of the best defenses in the league, in my opinion. So I just think it'll be too tough for Florida to compete, even with the trap game, mentality going into it. So
I don't believe it's a trap game, honestly.
It's the big. If trap game.
I
If
just see.
trap game had a
I think it's the
definition,
biggest trap game.
it's the biggest trap game of all
Yeah.
time, bro.
Bye week, Florida comes off a good win. Ole Miss comes off a good win, but they gotta win out to stay in the
Wait,
playoffs. I mean,
wait, hold on,
Shout out Byron
no,
going to the game.
no. Florida didn't come off a big win. They just got boat raced by Texas last week.
Cohen was talking
Yeah,
about.
but that's what their backup back from Yale, bro. They have DJ Lagway now. Good. I mean, he's gonna be able
I'm
to
just
air
saying,
that
no.
out, bro.
But Florida's defense is the one that lets up the points. The offense and everything. I think it stays close, but that's why I said Ole Miss by 10.
Also, the offense for that was so bad against Texas. Put like them in that position. Forever. Yeah, that's the picks I got.
Yeah.
I'm the lone soldier, Florida.
The load. All right.
Now we got Colorado versus Kansas. I don't really know.
Oh man,
Actually,
this is a big game. This is a big game. This game is actually being played at Arrowhead. I read that today.
Arrowhead.
Because Kansas is, and yes, because Kansas, their stadium is under like renovation or something. So it'll be almost not neutral site, but technically.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll go first. I think Kansas came off.
Yeah, I also
Kansas did beat BYU. Colorado's offense is powerful.
what's crazy to me is that Kansas has beaten Arizona State this season, has beaten BYU, and now they got Colorado. So they are what is keeping this Big 12 conference championship race close right now. But in the end, I do think that Colorado is much too strong for Kansas's anything that Kansas has. So I picked Colorado.
Aiden?
Yeah. So I think I'm gonna be honest. I don't think I gave much thought into this pick because I can't even remember who I picked. But these te- these teams are both solid teams in my opinion, and I think it's gonna go down to the wire. I think the spread's gonna be, 7 or 3. It's gonna
I
be
think right now it's like 2.5, I believe.
yeah, it's gonna be a close game for sure. But I think that in the end, um, I'm not gonna lie. I think Kansas can do it.
Bro, you told me.
Tell him,
Kansas.
is that who he picked?
You told me that Colorado was gonna win in the thing, so I didn't add an animation for Kansas on your thing. Now it just says it's gonna have Payne with the blank screen.
Okay. Well,
That's fine. No, the people heard who he wants, who he picks.
yeah.
Just
Okay,
don't put
so
a
I'm gonna
graphic
be
down.
honest.
Just
In the
don't put a
beginning of the
graphic.
week, in the beginning of the week when we scheduled the podcast, I thought Colorado had the better chance, but Colorado sold a lot of easy wins this year, and also Kansas has come off with this competitive mindset, challenging the Big 12. So, yeah, that's my opinion. Now we got Hollis coming back
Hollis, we need you. Come back.
with the what is
Oh wait, Cohen, hold on.
By 3.
Oh, okay, Dion. Where's
that with
Cowboy
the
hat?
what's he got in his hand there?
Oh,
Hollis,
Colorado by 3.
Colorado by 3. Okay, good take. I think it's gonna be closer. I think really it's hard to judge. I wouldn't be surprised if Colorado wins, but
Yeah, so let's stop the casual talk.
all
Colin,
right.
we gotta keep track of who everybody picks so we can make like a record at the end of the week. See who picked the best.
The best guest picker.
Yeah.
Yeah, wouldn't be
And
surprised if it's
everybody
me
else.
actually.
Everybody else, but we'll keep like we'll make a leaderboard of the best guest pickers pick. But we gotta keep our leaderboards, me, you, and Peyton.
All right, so now we got. I think not gonna be that bad. Kentucky versus Texas. So
Ah,
started off.
well, we all know.
Started off. It's in Texas. Not necessarily a trap game, but I really thought that before the season started, I thought Kentucky was a lot better offense. I really thought that this Kentucky could like set up. I think not even butt race. I'm just
I mean, yeah, I picked Texas as well. I really don't believe that. I feel like this is gonna be like another Florida game. Like Kentucky is kind of riding the low point of their season already. They're probably not gonna be bowl eligible. So I guess they really don't have anything to lose, but still don't think it's gonna be a good game. I think Texas wins by 17.
Yeah. Uh, I think if this were being played in Kentucky, maybe you could give it some more thought because there's been these games that in Kentucky they've proven they can, put up a fight. But being in Austin, I think Texas is gonna pull away the win. I got them by 21, three touchdowns.
I I think that if this was like a week 7 game at Kentucky, I think it's close. But it's late in the season. Texas. A lot.
Yup,
that's
unanimous.
across the board.
How come?
Someone screenshot that if Kentucky pulls off a miraculous upset. And next game is this is an interesting game, but we got Alabama versus Oklahoma. Night game in Boomer Sooner, isn't it?
Ah,
Night game in.
Yeah, it's in Norman.
Okay. So there's a chance, but I took out.
Is there? Is there? All right, man. You already know we're rolling with the Tide.
Guys, I don't.
We're rolling with
yeah,
the
bro.
Tide. It's not gonna be close. I mean, OU sucks anyway, so it doesn't matter. Alabama by 21.
All right.
It's gonna be the first time in a while that both of your teams have played Oklahoma.
I think the last time they both played each other in the season was the last year that Baker was in college when they played in the Rose Bowl.
Uh,
All right.
so
That was the last time they played, and then Bama didn't really play OU. They never really have. So it's double OU hate week.
I think, I think that, like Santana was saying earlier, OU is also just like Kentucky, one of those teams that they're just at the end of their season. I mean, it's pretty much over. They're just a really trashy team, and I think Alabama's going to sweep them. So, give me Alabama.
Earl Tide.
I think literally only Jalen Milroe could hold the ball the whole game, and they would still win by 21 points. They go
I like
Alabama.
that. I like that a lot.
Dang. All right. So we all
We
took
got another
Alabama.
unanimous,
And then we got.
vote.
I think this was. I actually don't remember. I know who I picked. BYU versus Arizona State. BYU coming off of a bad loss. I
remember this one.
I don't remember who Arizona State played, but I think they've been trending upwards at least.
They're 8-2 right now,
Yeah,
and they're looking
trending
good.
upwards. I got Arizona
Still
State.
fighting for that spot.
I got Arizona State pretty much knocking BYU out of the playoffs. I if I'm the committee, I think I would bump them out if they lose. Bad loss, and then loss, but still you have lost team. Lost team unless they win the conference championship.
No, man. Forks up. Arizona State. They're looking hot right now. They're getting good at the right time. Um, man, I stand strong by the fact that BYU should have lost the last game against Utah. So I give me Arizona State.
Yep. All right. Y'all remember this was controversial? What's up? Sorry about that. Sorry about that, y'all. A little interruption. So I think y'all saw it was controversial that put Arizona State above BYU in my rankings, and I think it's clear. No, I wouldn't say it's clear. I think it's kind of a controversial take, but I think Arizona has a team that can put away BYU. So
Arizona?
Arizona State. Sorry,
Okay.
Hollis. I think it
Very
was
good.
clear we were talking about Arizona State here, but keep hating.
Hear me
I got
out.
Arizona State.
BYU, great team. But let me tell you, them Sun Devils over there in Arizona, they're hot, just like the state. Arizona State upset of the century knocks BYU out, who thought they had hopes.
I
Give
like
me the
that.
Sun Devils.
Break Tyler
Hey,
Cruzy's
Tyler,
heart.
I was about to say Tyler's gonna be watching this whenever I post it as a reel or whatever. I was gonna be watching it.
Hey, man. Break his heart.
Sun
Forks
Devils-
up, baby.
Sun Devils-
Forks up.
Sun
Get a
Devils
better
across the
team.
board. Next game,
All right.
Army versus Notre Dame. Starting it off, low key, F Notre Dame. I don't know why I don't have anything against them, but I do not like Notre Dame. Give me Army for the upset.
All right.
All right, man. I got a reasoning for this one. I picked Notre Dame. But my reasoning is because I think I don't think even though Army runs that triple option, I think Notre Dame's game plan for it is too crazy. Like they played Navy and Navy runs the same style offense, and at one point I remember Notre Dame playing like 5 safeties in one play. Like there's so many things that I think they can do that's gonna stop them. Now I think this game is gonna be like a very boring game. I think it'll be like 8-9 minute drives for each team. So, but I think at the end Notre Dame's gonna win this game. Shout out Coach Daly.
Coach. Yeah. So I think that Army. I'm gonna have to disagree with Cohen here. I mean, I think Army's just kind of a mediocre. They're mediocre team. They're undefeated, but I mean, let's be honest. There's a reason they're still not in the top. Whatever 15 or whatever they're at. So I got Notre Dame. I think they're gonna sweep them. Honestly, it's in Notre Dame, and Army. I just think is not gonna be able to keep up. I think their little triple option game plan they got going here is just gonna get wrecked on this game next week. So
Look me in the eyes right now. Look me in the eyes. Notre Dame, great team. Great team. Yeah, they lost a good game, but they're a good team. But let me tell you something about them Army boys. They got a different mindset over there in the military academy. Coach Daly's son is a dog. He's a dog. That guy's
Good shut your
tough.
pick.
I don't care
Shut
if
up,
he's
Shut
Coach.
your
beat up.
damn pick.
He's got a mindset. Give me Army.
Oh wait, sorry.
Okay.
I didn't. I can't show it because I have Notre Dame as it, but split. That's our first 2-2.
Give me Army.
First 2-2 split for them. And now
So
we have the game day.
Hollis with the change up.
No, he didn't change it up. I just got it wrong.
Oh, you didn't. Okay.
Game of the week we have
Gotcha.
Ohio State versus Indiana. And
Mm-hmm.
the game
Mm-hmm.
Kyle's
Proves it
cheering
all.
in
This
the
proves it
background.
all.
All right, so not much to say. And so bad, bro. Give me
All right.
All right, man. We love White Eater. He's probably gonna be watching later, but you also got to think about Hoosiers is one of the greatest sports movies of all time, and I think this week Indiana's gonna prove they're more than the basketball school. Give me Indiana.
Yeah.
That delivery was fire.
All right. So yeah, we had a little debate about this earlier, so I think we all know who I'm gonna pick, but give me Indiana. I think
like
it's
it.
gonna be close. I think Indiana's really gonna have to lock in, but I think this is their time to prove that they're not just a Big Ten school getting these free wins.
Here's the thing. All right. I hate Ryan Day. I hate Ohio State. I'm not gonna lie. There's just no way they lose. Give me Ohio State.
Buckeyes
All right,
are
I
picked.
gotta say, I got one thing to say. I got one thing to say. Last thing, I picked Indiana, and I stand by Indiana. I think he's gonna win the game. But to me, a win for Indiana also means keeping the game close, like within, let's say 3. Like I think if they lose, I think they lose by 3 or a touchdown, and that's it.
Hold on. I want to add something here. If Indiana wins, what do the rankings look like? Where does Indiana and Ohio State move, you think?
Indiana would go to like 2.
Indiana jumps to 2, and it'd be crazy. As crazy it is to think about, I
They
don't see
have
anything
to go to
wrong. I
2,
really don't
yeah.
see anything wrong with it. I don't, because
And then it'd be Indiana, Oregon, I think.
Ohio State was one mistake, one really 1 second away from beating Oregon in Eugene, and that I don't know, dude. As much as I wouldn't like to see that U and that I put at number 2, I think that's where they have to go if they win this game.
That's about it.
All right.
Yeah, we went through everything.
That's the
Hour-
podcast,
got
episode
about,
1.
Got about
Let's
hour,
do episode
hour
1.
20-minute podcast. Paul, thank you for
Yeah,
our special guest.
ran a little over schedule.
We're gonna do.
Thank you, boys,
Hey,
for having me.
Hollis,
We're gonna do.
Hey,
good
man,
talking, Hollis.
We're gonna do a little vote next episode for the thing, but thank you, Hollis.
Thank you, boys.
Best.
Hey,
Let's
man,
go.
maybe we
Shout out
gotta bring you
Hollis.
back. Maybe we gotta bring you back.
Let's go.
Hey, if Ole Miss is in the national championship game, bring me back.
I will.
All right.
But we
Bring me
won't.
back.
We won't have to bring you back.
If Ole Miss wins out, you got to make a tough edit with me. There's no other option. Gotta win out.
we gotta win out.
Oh.
All right. Yeah.
Awesome.
All right, boys.
Thanks, Hollis.
We'll do the
Hey,
final.
All
Hey,
right.
man. Thanks, Hollis.
The final. Closing out the three trios. Payne, scoot this that way.
Wait.
Do final outro between us 3. Don't forget to tune in. I don't know when episode 2 will, but it'll be some
Next week. Next Friday.
next Friday.
Yeah, probably
Next
next week.
Thursday.
Probably next week. We gotta get a game plan going. Thanks y'all for watching. Shout out. I think he might still be viewing. I saw Sam
out Mauricio.
Fortenberry in here earlier.
And Mauricio, bro.
Hey, yeah, man. Shout out Mauricio.
Mauricio's been here.
Shout out
Mauricio's been
Mauricio,
here
number 1
Shout
fan.
out Mauricio.
Shout out Mauricio.
Shout out Mauricio.
Thank you everyone for watching. Sorry if it's laggy. We'll fix the lag issues next episode.
Yeah, we'll fix lag issues.
And guys, I'll see you guys later.